Hi, Exotical babes. This is Coco Exotical. Thank you for being here with me. Today, we're talking about how they'll encourage you until you actually start to succeed. Do you ever notice in maybe your friendship groups or even your own family or with your coworkers at work that maybe just, in passing small talk, you'll speak about one of your goals or something that you're working towards, just something that you're wanting to improve in your life. Maybe you'll talk about it in passing and you don't really think about it anymore. You don't even really remember who you talked to in passing about these goals that you have, but they remember. They're laser focused on what your goals are and on what your dreams are and how you aspire to level up in your life in any area of your life. They're laser focused on that. And they know exactly what your goals are and what steps that you should be taking to do them before you even do. That's how focused they are on you. And in the beginning, they'll encourage you. In the beginning, they're bigging you up. They're telling you, oh, that's great. Yeah, you should definitely go for it. You say, oh, I need to lose 20 pounds. They're like, yeah, more power to you. Go on ahead. Lose those 20 pounds. Like, yeah, I'll go to the gym with you. I'll go on a walk with you. I'll go on a run with you. Or they'll encourage you. They'll help you to, they'll give you recommendations about foods that you should be eating and workout classes that you should be doing and foods that you shouldn't be eating and, supplements that that you should be taking or you shouldn't be taking. They'll give you all of these different, options, all of this encouragement until you actually start to implement maybe the very suggestions that they've given you, or maybe you spent time doing your own research on the steps that you need to take to achieve whatever particular goal that is, whether it be weight loss or maybe you want to grow your hair out, you want to grow it all the way down to your butt, or maybe you are working on a degree, or maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, or any kind of aspirational goal that you have for yourself. When they see that you're actually succeeding at it, they see you've actually lost those 5 pounds, they see you've actually enrolled in school, they see you've actually started reading these books from cover to cover, and you're actually implementing the tools that these books are telling you to do. You're actually going to therapy and you're actually implementing the tools that your therapist has given you so that you can improve your life, and you're actually doing it because you're serious about it. Then they start to get upset. Then they start to try to discourage you instead of encourage you. You lost 15 pounds. Wow, you look great. Well, don't get too skinny. You don't want to lose too much weight now. Oh, you enrolled in school to get your degree. Oh, wow. Well, make sure that you have time for work now. Like, you don't want to spend too much time on school and then you end up getting fired. Like, you're working on improving your self-concept. Like, wow, you've been dressing a lot nicer lately. I see you've been wearing makeup more often. You're like, yeah, I'm feeling good about myself. I've been working on my self-concept. I've been in therapy. I've been reading books. I've been listening to podcasts. I've been listening to subliminals. I've been doing whatever because it's really important to me to improve my life and to improve the way that I see myself. Now they're upset about it. Oh, this isn't a fashion show. Who are you getting all dressed up for? Where are you going? Why are you wearing makeup? Why do you have to put on makeup just to go downstairs? Why do you have to put on makeup just to go for a walk in the park? Why do you have to put on makeup just to go to the grocery store? Why do you have to get all cute? You're just going to the gym. Why don't you just throw something on? Why do you have to put on a matching set? All right. All of a sudden, they have so much to say about what you're doing in your life, yet nothing to say about what they're doing for their own lives, right? They're upset that you're actually taking the time to focus and be disciplined and focus on yourself and your own goals instead of focusing on everyone else's goals. right? If you used to be a people pleaser and you used to focus on everybody else's goals and everybody else's dreams, and you used to be helping everybody else to achieve their goals and dreams while yours fall by the wayside, while yours are put on the back burner, you're putting everyone else above yourself and you're neglecting yourself. That was okay. They didn't have a problem with that. No one said, hey, you seem to be focusing too much on other people. Maybe you need to put that focus back on yourself. No one says that. But the second you choose to put the focus on yourself, the second you decide, I'm going to put myself first, I'm going to put myself on the pedestal, I'm no longer on the back burner, my goals, my aspirations, my dreams, my desires, what I want for my life, the way that I want my life to look, the way that I want my lifestyle to be is important. And it's going to come first for me now. And it doesn't mean that I don't care about anybody else. It just means that I'm going to come first instead of you all coming first before me. That's a problem now, right? They don't like that. That's a huge problem now. All of a sudden, the encouragement that they were giving you before, oh, I'm so happy that you're focusing on yourself and that you're going to therapy and that you're working on your healing and you're working on your self-esteem and you're working on improving your life and making your life better. No, all of that encouragement is gone now that they see that you're actually getting results from the work that you've been doing, because they don't want you to succeed. Them looking at you succeeding is making them feel bad because they've been making excuses their entire life for why they can't succeed. Oh, I could have lost 20 pounds, but I've got 3 kids and I don't have the time to go to the gym, or I don't have the time to, I can't cook 2 meals. If I cook something healthy, the kids aren't going to eat it. And so I have to cook 2 meals. And so I don't want to cook 2 meals. So I'm just going to, cook 1 meal. And then it ends up not being the healthiest. And that's why I'm gaining weight. Right? That's why I've gained weight. But you might have 4 kids and you found the time to go to the gym, or you found the time to, make healthy meals. Or you don't find it to be a problem to make a healthy meal for yourself, to meal prep for yourself for the week, and then make other meals for the rest of the household. And maybe they're complaining, oh, I would love to, be able to put on makeup in the morning and get all cute and everything like that and go to work. But, I'm a nurse. I don't have time to do that. I'm very busy saving lives. And so I can't do all of that. Yet her fellow nurse coworkers seem to have the same amount of time to put on makeup in the morning and get their hair together and, focus on their skincare, get their mani-pedi together. But you don't want to do it, and you work the same schedule as they do, but you just don't want to do it. And so you make an excuse that, well, I work long hours, I don't have time to do all of that. Yet your coworkers seem to have time to do it. Now you're hating on them because they had time to, they prioritized themselves. They made time for themselves, and you didn't want to prioritize yourself. You didn't want to make time for yourself. And now you're envious of the people who decided, hey, I'm going to prioritize myself. Yes, I love my job and my job is important and I'm important as well. And so I'm going to put myself together and look presentable when I come to work. I'm going to put myself together and look presentable when I go to the grocery store because that's what I want to do. And it doesn't mean that if somebody wants to roll out of bed and go to the grocery store, that's a problem. No, but don't hate on me for getting dressed up. I'm not hating on you for rolling out of bed and going to the grocery store looking however you look, crust in your eyes, drool on your face. I'm not hating on you for that. But you were hating on me while you're looking like that for putting on makeup and getting dressed up to go to the grocery store. You're hating on me while you're laying in bed eating Cheetos, right, all day long watching TV. You're hating on me for going to the gym or for going for a walk or for wanting to get my 10,000, 15,000 steps in for the day. You're mad at me for eating the salad instead of eating the pizza. You're mad at me for eating the lean protein and the healthy fats instead of eating, a greasy cheeseburger with a side of cheesecake. And that's fine. If you don't want to do what I have to do or what anyone else has to do, if you don't have the discipline to make healthier choices in life, to make different choices in life than the choices that you were doing before, while all the while claiming to want a new life, then that's on you. That's not on me. But a lot of people don't want to look at themselves that way. When you are leveling up, when you are disciplined, when you are focused, when you are doing the work that it takes to level up and that it takes to achieve your goals, and they see you doing it, they are upset about it because they themselves know that they don't want to put in that effort. They know that if they put in the same effort that you put in, they see you putting in that effort. And they know if they put in the same amount of effort that you put in, that they would be where you are too. But they don't want to do that. So they make all of these fake excuses. They make up all these lies and excuses for why they cannot achieve the goals that they've said that they've wanted to achieve, that they've been talking about for years. They've been talking about wanting to lose weight for the past 5 years. They've been talking about wanting to start their own business for the past 5 years. They've been talking about wanting to move to a different state or a different city or a different country for the past 5 years. They've been talking about wanting to travel more. They've been talking about wanting to get a better job. They've been talking about wanting, to get a better husband, a better boyfriend. They've been talking about wanting to get a divorce. They've been talking about wanting to get married. They've been just talking about wanting to get their degree, talking about wanting to do all of these things, but it's all talk to them because then they make excuses for why they can't do it. But when you actually talk about what you want to do, you say, I want to lose weight. I want to improve my mental health. I want to improve my physical health. I want to start a business. I want to start a YouTube channel. And you actually take the steps towards doing it, and they actually see the results of your hard work. They're upset about it because they know, hey, shoot, if I had started when she started, if I started doing those baby steps, if I had just started a couple months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, I would be where she is right now. But I didn't want to do it. I made excuses for myself and she didn't. And now I'm envious of her. Well, she did nothing wrong. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing. And I could have done the same thing too. Nobody stopped me. She even was trying to encourage me. But I made excuses. And now she's getting the results that I would have had, right, if I wasn't making excuses for myself. And so now they want to resent you for it. They want to be upset with you for it. They want to try to sabotage your success because they themselves feel inferior. They feel ashamed because they know that if they had put in the same amount of effort, that their lives could have changed as well. They could have lost the weight. They could have started the business. They could have started the YouTube channel. They could have quit the job. They could have gotten the promotion. They could have, taken the vacation, whatever it is. But they spent time making excuses for it. One of my favorite quotes is from the book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And my favorite quote from that book is, watching someone else totally go for it can be completely devastating to a person who has spent a lifetime making excuses for why they themselves can't. That quote, when I first read it, it just turned on a light for me. It was like a switch turned on because I had people in my life who would always try to sabotage me. Even my own family, my own parents, my own siblings, even friends that I'd known for years that I thought were really supportive of me and had my back. I saw when I went for my goals, when I was very disciplined and I, got tired of my own BS, and I decided I'm not going to make excuses for myself anymore, but I'm going to learn how to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. If I don't have the skills to achieve them, I'm going to gain those skills by doing whatever I need to do, whether I need to read a book, I need to take a course, whatever I need to do to get to where I need to go, to lose the weight, to improve my mental health, to learn how to do my makeup better, to learn how to edit videos, to learn how to start a YouTube channel, to learn how to do anything. A lot of people don't want to put in the effort to learn how to do it. They just want to look at other people doing it and try to criticize them and try to bring them down to their level. Anytime someone's trying to bring you down, it's because they see you as above. You don't have to see yourself as above because they already see you as above. That's why they're trying to bring you down. Anybody that they see as beneath them, they're not concerned about them. But when they're focused on you and they're concerned about what you're doing and they're always just overly in your business and overly concerned about what you're doing, but they're not focused on their lives, they're focused on yours, it's because, they're envious of you. They want to live your life. They want to be you, but they don't want to put in the effort to do what it takes to be you. They don't want to make the sacrifices that you had to make. They don't want to go through the trauma and the struggle that you had to go through. Sometimes they're mad at you because you don't look like what you've been through. They know what you've been through. They know you've been through a lot, and they know that they wouldn't be standing if they were you. They know that they wouldn't be still smiling if they were you. They know that they wouldn't be treating people with kindness. They wouldn't be able to be successful at their job. They wouldn't be able to level up after the amount of trauma and tragedy that you've been through in a short amount of time. They know all of that, and they see you elevating even more. That trauma elevated you, right? That trauma leveled you up more. How? Because they know that they would be down in the gutter. They would be in the mud, crying, screaming, throwing up, begging for someone to come and save them, wallowing in their victimhood instead of assessing the situation and figuring out what they can do to get out of it. And that's what you did. Maybe you did wallow. You wallowed for a little bit, you cried, you grieved. And then you said, listen, am I going to sit here for the rest of my life and cry and grieve and complain and moan and be a victim? Or am I going to say, all right, this happened to me and it was horrible. Now what can I do to make sure that my life is not horrible like this again? What can I do to make sure that something like this doesn't happen to me again? And what can I do to get myself out of this mess right now and make sure that I no longer ever have to deal with mess like this again? That's what you do when you want to level up. And that's what you do when you've learned from things that have happened to you, when you've learned from traumatic experiences. You take what you need to take from that, you take that lesson, and then you implement tools into your life to make sure that you never have to learn that lesson a second time. Anyway, these were just, a few ramblings, a few thoughts that I had in my mind about experiences that I've had with people that are close to me, that even family members, friends, people that I thought I could trust, who you realize that, they don't really have your back. They're encouraging you because they think that you're going to fail, right? And then when it turns out that you didn't fail and you're actually successful, now they're upset about it. And now they're envious of you, or they resent you, or they're trying to sabotage you and they try to tear you down. But you can't let people like that get in your mind. When you see people trying to tear you down, when you see people trying to sabotage you, trying to talk badly about you being disciplined and working toward your goals, those aren't the people that you want to be around, because people who are also working on their own goals are not going to tear you down because they understand what it means to work toward a goal. They're going to encourage you and truly encourage you. They're truly going to celebrate your wins when you're being disciplined and when you actually get the results and they see the results. They're going to be there celebrating right there with you. They're not going to be giving you side eye. They're not going to be trying to undermine your accomplishments and trying to tear you down. So anyways, let me know what you all think about this topic, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.